Bass drumming 101. Bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap. Okay, do that with me. Bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap. And when you do it in succession, we start with them slow. We're working on coordination. The most important thing about drumming is tempo. So we start them out slow, so we make sure, sometimes this is a challenge.
Sure.
But we start them out slow so that everyone can get on the one.
On the one.
On the one.
And what does on the one mean?
Oh, that's another story.
Yeah. Okay.
On the one. Okay, that was brought up years ago by a guy named George Clinton.
Ah, yes, the Funkadelics.
Yeah, Parliament Funkadelic.
Ah, yes.
The P-Funk. So, he always wanted his funk on the one. And so he and Bootsy Collins would say, give it to me on the one. So, meaning stay on beat, give it to me now like this. That was their expression. So, on the one, generally, to tell people is, whenever you start music, everyone starts on the one. It's either a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and, or it's 1, 2, 3, and, or it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and whatever your count is. But you do it for a reason so that everyone can know that you're 3, 2, 1, ready to go on the one. Now, the reason a lot of experienced drummers at drum circles do not like playing or at drum circles is because of the inexperienced drummers.
Well, and this is one thing that you were telling me about, one purpose that you see for you teaching. We all know that there's drum circles at Little Beach that have been going on for years and years.
Yes.
Wonderful drum circles.
I love them.
Lately there's been some problems. We all know about that, some problems there, but this has been a tradition that's been going on for years. And I know from personal experience that there are friends that I've brought and they're intimidated. So you can actually help somebody
Yes, sir.
to bridge that, so that they could go to a Little Beach drumming if they wanted to, with some confidence that they could then play along with the more professional people and feel some confidence.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Building some confidence within themselves, their ability, their creativity, their foundation, their structure, their rhythm, rhythm of life, their heartbeat, getting them in touch with what's really beating on the inside. And, when you go to a Little Beach, when I grew up in Los Angeles, we had Griffith Park.
I know Griffith Park.
You know Griffith Park?
Oh, sure. That's where the Greek theater is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, man. Greek theater. A lot of nice concerts there.
Beautiful park. I was just there a few months ago.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Yeah. I'm sure it's changed now, but we would be at Griffith Park or MacArthur Park, and then Venice Beach, where all the roller skating in Venice Beach drum circle. And so there were a lot of drum circles, and just like there's a lot of concerts, and there's a lot of churches and a lot of, selections of different things. But with our drum circles, we'd like to become a little more ceremonial.
In the ones that you're holding here.
Right. Zone Maui drum circles here.
And just to let people know, right now you're having at Charlie Young Beach the first Sunday of each month. You're having a drum circle there?
Yes, at Charlie Young Beach, and it is a beautiful venue. It is a beautiful beach.
You just had a big turnout at your last one.
We had a drum event called 100 Drums for Peace. And there must have been 250, 300 people. Now, I'm sure that 100 people were already on the beach, but they turned all of their lawn chairs around, and we had an amphitheater. We had keiki time. We had all the keiki there. We had all the drums. The children were beautiful.
So let me see again how you transitioned. Okay, you showed us some basics. Then take it from that into what it might sound like when it develops, into that rhythm develops.
Right. Because, how do you get from one to the other? That's where we stop, talking about the one.
That's right. That's it. Back to the one.
P-funk.
That's right.
Okay, now it's on the one. So if what I'm sharing with them that day is bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap.
Again, what's that sound like? Okay.
Okay, so if I'm sharing, okay, they're saying, okay, that's simple, but how is that going to get me to get into the Om zone, my own zone, into the spirit realm, and really be able to flow? That seems pretty simple. Or, I want to play I want to just do my thing. Some of them
Yeah.
hold your heart says, can I just play? See, that's why a lot of drummers don't want to play with those, people who don't have a foundation on what the one or tempo or staying in rhythm. And, we all get off from time to time, but it's nice to have some knowledge, And so what they'll do is bass, bass, tone, tone, slap, slap. And while they're doing this, then the lead drummer could be, but their part is, and the other is, while the leader is. And so then therefore, as they keep that tempo, we're all on the one. We're all in sync. And that's where we find what we call the anointing. The anointing or the move of the Spirit or power or union or, a lot of names. I don't want to, I'm not trying to claim it.
Where could somebody go from that basic boom, boom? What would be a next step out of that into...
Playing, you mean?
Yeah. What would be a next step?
Okay, well, the next step, you could just double it up.
Okay, let's hear.
Okay, you could take it from 2 to 4.
And then when you take it to where you were just really letting it rip.
Right.
How does that evolve?
Well,
How does that evolve? How does it get from that, which sounds kind of...
2 ways.
How does that evolve?
2 ways. One, some children as well as adults are gifted and have never played the drum before, but when they get there, it's amazing. The little kids find the beat and their parents look at them like, where did that come from?
Right. Well, see, that's me. I've always had that. My mom bought me some bongo drums when I was 6 years old.
I grew up with bongos.
And it's always been in me. I drum it on my desk at work, at school, at work, whatever. It's always been in me. And it wasn't until maybe 15 years ago I studied with Baba Olatunji at Omega Institute, a master. And he taught me some of these rudimentary things. But for me, that drumming is in me, but I don't know how to pass that on to someone. And that's the gift that you're having right here, is that you're able to show somebody, well, here's how you start.
Well, when it comes to music, I like to say music is my sanctuary. Music is my life. And I've lived and been able to experience a lot of different types of applications to music. I was in a marching band for 3 years, and then you learn how music is made and put together. I was in an orchestra, full-on orchestra for 3 years, and you see the strings and the horns and how things come together. I always played percussion instruments, drums and kettles and what have you. Also being from a musical background, and in my church background is gospel music. I mean, gospel music will move you.
Oh boy.
Let's go to church.
Oh yeah.
So that flavor, I love jazz, I love reggae, I love all types of music. And so, but with the foundation, of the orchestra and the band, marching band, I was taught by our, instructors and conductors how to build music and how to take it down and how to start and how to go from 4th chair to 3rd chair to 2nd chair to 1st chair. Learning how music is put together, and it all has to orchestrate and come together on the same. And so you don't have to be experienced to be able to flow in the spirit of drumming, and it's all about your experience.
Absolutely.
It's all about enhancing your experience. It's not about, you know, people say, or I could say, it's not really about being on the one in general. Suppose a person that just can't drum and he can't get lessons. Well, what is he, not to drum? No. He'll do the best he can with what he has. But when we can all play together in sync, it's just like going and seeing a beautiful band or a concert or somewhere. You don't want to see people who can't play together. And when you go to the drum circles that people really have a good time, they generally have some really good drummers.
At the core.
At the core.
Yeah, at the core there's some good drummers, and then there's some people on the periphery who hopefully can kind of groove along with that.
Right, and what the drummers on the core would like to tell the drummers on the periphery is don't play as loud as I do. Because someone has to lead and someone has to follow. Everyone can't lead. And a lot of times people just start wailing. And the guy who's really doing the beat and everything, and he doesn't even realize they're doing a syncopated beat or a rhythm or something, and he's just playing all over, and everybody's like, man, I wish he'd stop.
Right.
But he's into it because he's having this experience, you know, and so from the home zone perspective, you know, we'd like to, you know, everybody for sure have your own personal experience, but, you know, we can do it together with the oneness.
Yes.
You know, because I'd like for the experienced drummers to be able to come to our drum circles and know that we're going to orchestrate it. We got junjuns, apintimans, ngomas, djembes, you know. And
so you bring all of this when you have your group, and you let people play these drums.
Yes.
So people can feel when they're coming to one of your circles that you're going to have these instruments.
Yes.
And that you don't just have people play one. You circulate it. You want people to try different instruments out.
Yes, exactly. Thus, all of the things, the shaker-rays and what have you, the junjun, which are the mother drums that keep the foundation of the beat.
Are they those big drums you play with sticks?
Yeah, with sticks, exactly.
Yeah, they keep the foundation. It's a real simple beat, but it really keeps the bottom, keeps the foundation.
It really does. And there's three, the junjun, the samba, and the kikini. And then there's a brekete, which is like a bass drum, African bass drum. And those drums keep the foundation. Then we've got the ngomas, which are the tall drums.
Ah, yes.
Oh, can I share this also?
Yeah, well, we only have a couple minutes.
Oh,
but
couple minutes.
yeah,
It'll be quick.
Yeah.
Okay, the ngoma drum is a very good drum for people who have back problems. Any type of back problems, and they can't sit long to play, or they want to hold it, because the ngoma drum is like anywhere from 40 to 44 inches tall, so you can stand and play it very comfortably. So we have a lot of kapuna, you know, the elderly that come to our circles, and they love the ngoma drum because they don't have to get all down and get under the drum. They just stand right there and feel their rhythm.
So this is for everyone. This is from keiki up to elderly. This is for everyone. And you love to teach people to, besides drumming, singing, just all manner of music.
Yes.
These drum circles, tell people when they are and where they are so they can attend.
Okay. These drum circles are the first Sunday of every month at Charlie Young Beach. Charlie Young Beach is at 2200 South Kihei Boulevard.
That's the north end of Cam 1 Beach.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So that's Charlie Young on every first Sunday. And then on all of the other Sundays, we are at Cam 3. Well, we're actually at Cam Point.
Which is
Camoli Point.
that piece of ground right between Cam 2 and Cam 3.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's at the north end of Cam 3.
Yes.
So you get to Cam 3, you will hear us.
Okay.
It's right there to the north side.
Wonderful. And then people can contact you through your website, omzonemaui.com.
Correct.
And
OMZONE Maui.com.
says it right there on the screen.
Oh, my bad. Forgive me.
No, can't say it enough. So, thank you so much for coming on the show, Omar.
Thank you
I've
for
looked
having me.
forward to having you on the show, and I'm glad to get to know you a little more.
Right on. Can I share just one thing about my new baby?
Yes.
I have a new recording coming out,
Oh.
and it's called Passages.
And people can
receive them either where we have our drums in Paia at Island Roots, as well as at the drum circles at Charlie Young. And I'd just like to say also that Maui has really accepted me graciously, and I am totally honored.
Absolutely.
And blessed and just thankful to be a conduit, to be able to come and share what I have and create a platform for others, because there's plenty of room.
And we are happy to have you. Thank you,
Beautiful.
Omar.
Thank you, my brother. God bless.
God bless.
Yes.
That's it for this episode of Life on Maui. I'm Steve and Freid, and welcome back to the next episode. And until then, aloha.
Call me crazy, but I'm never giving up my dreams. No matter how far away they seem, maybe crazy